Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. So guys, finally the time has come when we will have our discussion on the so far 6 questions which I shared with you, and I asked you guys to share your inputs over there. So first of all, thanks a lot for all those people who participated in these questions. So guys, there is no such thing as right or wrong answer to any question. The whole objective of sharing those was just to have some interaction, have some fun, and in order to see the logic which you are applying while decoding or while approaching that complex astrological or like numerology or palmistry query. So okay guys, so far I have shared 6 posts with you, and in this short video we will have our discussion over there. So the very first thing is that I shared a picture with you of a person, and I asked you that what could be the potential of becoming a prime minister of a country in this hand. I tried my level best to blur the face of this person. He's the chief of one of the province in India. Because of his like patriotic and dynamic personality, he has got a major youth following amongst the Indians and all. Whether you are living in India or outside of India, he has got a very strong following. But okay, now I cannot do anything if the face has and the personality has already been identified. But the question, how you can decode it or approach it through palmistry. So guys, definitely the picture was little bit blurred. I mean to say little bit distorted. The hand picture was not of very high resolution, but even after that, what I wanted you guys to pick to spot, I guess a lot of you were able to do that. So guys, on this palm picture, definitely you can fairly see the a very immaculate or a clear sun line and the fade line. And we also have to take into consideration that like there are like certain lines, when we age them, we start from the top, like the way in the case of the lifeline, we start from the side of the like the thumb, and we go down towards the wrist. But when it comes down to the sun line, it is always aged or measured going up on the hand, on the palm. So with that logic, looking at his hand, he has got a very strong, very immaculate sun line. So that is a very strong supportive sign. Over and above that, definitely when we talk about the personality, because it's the line only which somehow tells about the happening of the event. Rest of the attributes of the hand in the palmistry tell more about the personality. So now definitely guys, looking at a very protruded, very prominent inner mount of Mars, outer mount of Mars, that definitely tells about that the personality is going to be very dynamic, very person is going to be very confident, a very strong administrator, a strong very fire brand kind of leader. You can see looking at the mount of the Mars. Also guys, the mount of Moon is also very prominent, so that also tells about the personality is going to be very devotional and very patriotic as well. Person is going to be very strong with the outpour of the emotions. But yes, pertaining to the question regarding which we have to figure out, a very prominent sun line, a very prominent Saturn line, and even the ring finger is a little bit longer compared to the index finger. Like the way in my case, the Jupiter quality is little slightly higher compared to the sun line, sun finger. So this is what we can figure out from this. So for all of you who have picked on this line, Apollo line, and have predicted your answer as yes, that he come across as a very strong contender for becoming a prime minister of a country, is the logic which you have used is very right as per palmistry. Let's move ahead. Now guys, the second question which I asked about, now guys over here looking at this chart, lot many people started saying that okay Nipun, this is your chart. That is not important. This could be of anyone else as well. You know that recently I've changed the letters of my name, right? So it's not Nipun, it's Nipun. So I mean to say, the question which I asked you showing this post was, native is in Saturn Mahadasha and Mars Antardasha. Does living in, okay, I wanted to say high rise, I don't know why it become high res, so I'm so sorry. And in one of the posts I put 2 Ketu in the chart, so I'm so sorry for all the technical glitches and the fault. So the question is, native is in the Saturn Mahadasha and the Mars Antardasha. Does living in a high-rise apartment or in a basement is advantageous in this period? Now guys, it is very important. See, I do not know how come you guys did not pick on it. Okay, a lot many of you have been predicting that. Okay, looking at this chart, okay, that's fine. You gotten deepen into the analysis that okay, the person might have to struggle a lot, the person might be doing good in a foreign land, the person might have to struggle, start and do a lot of struggle, might have anger issue. All of that is fine, but you have to focus pinpointedly on the question asked. My question is that, and guys, over here, see, it's a very important tool for you, because whatever I'm sharing over here with you, more than teaching and my research, I do consultations as well. That means, and guys, one thing which I want to add over here, that when I am doing a consultation, so I'm very grateful, because it's not only that people who come to me for the consultation, with my knowledge of astrology, I guide them. Astrology is a science of guidance and counseling and all, but somehow with their life issue, astrologically, they also give me something which adds to my research as well, so that if person comes with a similar situation, I have something to guide them. So the concern over here is that, or the point over here is that, you have to learn astrology in this way, that the best guidance to any person from astrology is make that person, or make that person's life in harmony with the planets. The planets will stop bothering that person. All what you have to do is that you have to give the planet what in its activated dasha planet is asking for. And guys, that is the only reason when we talk about the concerns of the 8th house or the 12th house, these are very sensitive houses. You have to deal or tread while dealing with the matters of these houses very carefully. Any miscalculation at your end might get person involved in road accident, depression, suicide. So many things can happen. So the concern over here is that, and the my way of looking at this question's answer is that, I again repeat the question. I asked that native is in the Saturn Mahadasha. So looking at this chart, is it's a Aries Lagna. Saturn Mahadasha is on. Saturn is 10th lord, 11th lord. It is placed in the 8th house. So whatever result this person is going to be getting right now of his career, of his gains, are coming in from the 8th house. That is for sure. Now the case is that, because the person is in the Mars Antardasha as well, so that means 8th house right now is very potent and it is very ripe, it's very active. It means during this time, native can do something breakthrough in the fields of research. Native can suddenly be eligible or can suddenly receive some very big huge sum of money as well. But at the same time, this is a time period when native can also get into accident, native can also get into some sort of dispute, allegation. So the concern is that what planet is asking for, we have to give it to it. So if this chart, okay, let's say for example, the points which you have to see, it becomes very important on the basis of the living arrangement. So if this person in any condition, like for example guys, I always say Desh Kal Patra becomes very important. Now if this person in this time period is living in a foreign country, it will definitely benefit this person. See, in this chart, as you can see that if we have to see the 4th house, the 4th lord is also well placed in the 11th house. So it's not like that he has to live in a foreign land because his homeland planet is afflicted. The homeland planet is also in a very benefic kind of combination, surrounded by all the benefic planets in the 11th house. So in this chart, we can say this thing that living in a foreign land or living in your home country, it's equally beneficial for you. But right now, when the 8th house is so strongly activated, uh, and if the question is of the living arrangement, so living in a foreign land will be much beneficial for you. Now guys, why I mention this thing, now I come down to the answer. High rise apartment or in a basement, you have to understand this thing. What is 8th house? 8th house is Shamshan Ghat. It is a cremation ground. 8th house is everything which comes from under the earth. That is the only reason people who are prominent with the 8th house, they work in the iron, in the mineral, in the gems, in research and all of that, because whatever is coming from under the earth. So again, all those who answered, I highly appreciate them for their participation. You were also in the right direction, but the question was specific, and the specific answer to that is, now let's say for example the fourth lord is in the 11th house. I understand living in the high rise, living in ocean view, high rise, all of that is fine, but important is right now what is active. It hardly matters, you might have four planets exalted in your chart, but you are in a very poor condition, in a very struggleful state. Why? Because the dasha which is right now running over you, that is of a planet which is afflicted. So finally the king is always, and the decision maker is always, the planet whose time period is on over you. So I mean to say, in this dasha, honoring the planet in a very sensitive way becomes very important now, because it's Mars and Saturn. So it means doing gym, sweating, doing physical work, doing research, doing rituals becomes very important. And as the question is involved, that living in a basement as per the need of the hour, this is what the planet are asking of. Staying secretive, not revealing much plans, and living under the earth in this activated time period might be much more beneficial. Now guys, question number 3 which I asked you. So question number 3 was, as you can see in your screen, the post, Marina is turning 24 next year. She is Mulank. She is birth date 2, life path 6, and in 2025 in the personal year 9. So I gave you guys 3-4 hints. She is turning 24 next year, 2 plus 4 6, something to do with Venus. Her life path is 6. Life path always tells about your life's journey. The more information of someone's career in numerology we get from the life path number, Mulank, or your birth date. So if I'm born on a 10th, so that means my Mulank, my birth date is 1 plus 0 is 1. That tells about my personality traits. I might be leader, I might have good communication, I will crave for fame, recognition, popularity, leadership. That is my personality. But that does not mean that this is what my life journey is going to be. So information, vital information of someone's career, we generally get more from the life path number, the sum total of the numerology, birth date. So in her case, she is Mulank 2. So Mulank 2, that means she's very imaginative, very creative. She has this capability to form partnership, perform good in any leadership, or I mean to say in any large group network setting. She can be a very good poet, she can be a very good writer, she can be a very good PR agent, she can do very good in all of that. Now life path 6, life path is 6, so that means she could be a model, she could be a designer. So somehow when we talk about 2 and 6, there are like certain overlaps over here regarding creativity, regarding lifestyle, fashion, and being a part of the group. And the good part is that in 2025 she's in the personal year 9. So guys, if you have been paying attention to my ongoing personal year numerology work and series on my channel, that personal year 9 generally brings lot many changes and transformation, where people wrap up one thing and try to migrate into something else. Now we will look at the question. So, and guys, trust me, all these are like, certain questions are like stories from people's life, and certain way, in certain questions I was just being creative, sitting in a library with my coffee and just thinking about the situation to give you guys, to solve the riddle. So the question was, her mother wants her to get married next year. Fine. But she wants to quit her job next year and undertake a 9 months modeling diploma. What does she do? So guys, over here, definitely, because personal year 9 is bringing a change and transformation. So that means a break. Now okay, now you will say that, okay Nipun, if it is break, so but if you get married, that does not always carry a break. A lot of times marriage gives you expansion, more responsibilities, and you do not everyone has to quit their job or quit their career. But over here, when we talk about the energy of the switch, now over here I gave you guys this hint that, because if she will be getting into the modeling diploma and all, the thing is that she'll be working in the line with something which is in sync with her life path. And the thing is, she might get signed by some big brand or something. So my answer to that was, if being put forth in this situation with this much data in the hand, and you have to guide someone. My recommendation would have been, okay, marriage can still wait for 1 year, 2 year. I did not write in this question that her mother wants her to get married, so it means she still do not have someone who is like a ready match, like she's already dating someone, she has a fiance, she's courting someone. It's just her mother's aspiration or expectation from her. But what she has in her handy, a plan to get into modeling, do a diploma, and the year's vibration is also promising a change, and that change which she is thinking about is in line with her life path and Mulan. So that's what she should be doing. That was the answer, my explanation. All of those who participated, thanks a lot for you guys, highly appreciate. Now comes the question. This is very funny. This is very funny. Okay, guys, I actually wanted to see, like the way in my videos, I always give this example that, okay, the person who keeps on getting injured and breaking his body, getting injured upon, getting fractured, and the doctor who performs the surgery, more or less, they have the similar planets activated. So, I mean to say, the guy who, being a cop, runs after a thief, after a bad guy, and the guy whom this cop is chasing, more or less they both have the similar yoga, I mean to say. So see, in a cop's case it will be a dignified graceful Mars. In a culprit or a thief's case, it will be very strong afflicted Mars with Rahu. That's a different case. Okay, so I gave you this question of two charts that, okay, one of the chart belongs to a globally recognized terrorist. You know who that terrorist was? It was Osama bin Laden. So again, guys, over here, now a lot of you, I'm sure, will say this thing. Oh, the Lagan is wrong. The ascendant is wrong. It hardly matters, guys. Although I took it from a website, and I'm sure even they put it over there, it's a dirty data, reference data, but the date of birth as per it is available in the Wikipedia matching the personality, it's the same. My concern over here is that even if you will not pay attention to the ascendant and just study it on the basis of the sign where moon is, if it is like I checked the degree, it was not very close to the end or beginning of the degree, that during the day it could change the sign. But even the major planets, the slow moving planets and all, so that will give you an insight. So it was a very tough fight, because you will be surprised. um, those people who are very religiously driven and disciplined, like a celibate for the rest of their life, and they're like those who are fanatic terrorists, very fundamentalist and all, who in the name of the god and the religion, take weapons in their hand. And that's what we are seeing in majority of the areas of the world which are under the influence of the war and all. I saw this post recently that it came from North Korea, that over 1 million people are ready to take up weapons for this holy fight against South Korea. So I mean to say, it's a very different way, the way people on the top, they use religion as a tool to weaponize the gullible and impressionable mind. But we'll not get over there, we'll stick to our question. So the globally recognized terrorist was the chart of Osama bin Laden, and second, another chart belongs to a globally revered yogi. It was Mahesh Yogi, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi's chart. So now guys, which chart belongs to whom? No correct answers I mentioned over here, just looking for approach and logics of assessment. So guys, definitely I do not know how come you guys got confused over here. So okay, the chart number A, I guess, where did I put the 2K2? Yeah, I'm so sorry for the chart number A. I'm sure the one who pointed it out was actually having a good laugh that, okay, how come you put 2K2 over there? It might have been just to intensify my point over here. So, okay guys, so over here, looking at the chart number A, it belongs to the Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. So he has got a exalted Mars in the first house, so Capricorn rising, Mars exalted conjunct with Mercury. Ascendant lord is Saturn, it is there in the 7th house. Now guys, when we talk about Mars and Saturn opposition, and Saturn, when we talk about the original Kalpurush Kundli, 7th house somehow is very much favorite to the planet Saturn. Now again guys, when we talk about anything to do with the public domain, Saturn and the Cancer somehow becomes very important to how to restrain your emotions and restrain your senses, Saturn somehow plays a very pivotal role. So Jupiter being in the fourth house, most importantly guys, here when we are talking about something which is very transcendental level and all, so 12th house becomes also very important. In his case, he has Rahu, Sun, he has Venus in the 12th house, and somehow, because that also tells about the global following. When we talk about the global following and all, over there somehow this becomes very important. 12th house becomes very important. And guys, whenever we talk about the way your mind function, so if you have to become a yogi, if you have to become a yogi in something, then over there 8th house has to be in the picture. So this person has got Maharishi Mahesh Yogi ji. He has a moon being placed in the 8th house, so you can definitely see a connection over there. Now guys, now when we will look at the chart of the B, person B over here, so called the Osama bin Laden's chart. Again guys, even if you will not take into consideration the uh, accuracy of the Lagan, but I would still say this thing, that just the planet's placement in the zodiac sign will give you an insight over there. So guys, in his case, if you will see, Saturn was in the Scorpio when he was born. If we will go by this chart as well, if you will look at the Aries, Sun, Ketu and Mercury. So again guys, when we talk about these kind of people, their capacity to radicalize and all, and thirst and quench for blood and something over there, you will definitely see that the Ketu in any case will be influencing the important luminaries, important planets. So Ketu being conjunct with the exalted Sun over there, and Moon is conjunct with Rahu, that too placed in the 12th house. So secrecy, secret conspiracy, and doing something. Again guys, all those people who have had this capacity to influence the world on a global level, over their notes always plays a very important role. So as you can see over here, he was again born very close to the time of the typical eclipse kind of energy. And I always say this thing, people who are born with these kind of alignments, their destinies are special. Now that is a different case, whether to harm or whether to protect, that is a different case. But yes, people who are born close to the time of the eclipses, they are born with a special destiny. This is the word which I am using. And guys, if you will see, if we will go by the same chart, that the birth time and everything is, although I'm sure it's not correct, but even if you look over there, because see, my main objective was to confuse you guys. So if you will see, the ascendant lord has gone to the 8th house, and it is very disturbed, it is very agitated. Mars being very agitated, Saturn being right over there over your ascendant, Venus was strong. So that is one case, that Osama bin Laden, the way they say that he was born in a very wealthy family, that also tells about it. And the 10th, in the 10th house, you will see the placement of the Jupiter. So guys, somehow that also tells about that somehow he has this capacity to amass the support, that whatever he's doing it as the God's work, as the God's work. His actions was labeled and packaged as the God's work, was a very twisted way of looking at it. You can definitely see, like killing and harming someone in the name of the God, in the name of religion. I do not know what to call it. So you can see over here. Okay guys, now moving ahead. I'm so sorry guys who predicted it wrongly or I made you confused, but trust me, it's very natural. It's very, very natural. I told you. The guy who keeps on getting into accidents, getting his bones cracked and fractured, and the guy who is a surgeon, orthopedic specialist or bone specialist, more or less they have the similar yoga. So now guys, the point number 2 was that for this question, what's the major difference between palm lines of both hands and its impact on personality? I'm sure a lot of you would have already understood whose hand is this. Her photograph is almost clear. So Meghan Markle, and it was being in the news recently, because obviously she comes from a royal family. Whatever is happening as a part of her personality is going to be definitely hitting the headlines and all. So it was in the news lately that okay, she has got a very dominating nature. Those people who are appointed as to take care of all the chores and something in the duty and all. So a lot many people who were reporting to her have resigned, and they quoted this thing in their interviews which they gave. they said this thing, that she's very difficult to work with, or she has got a very dominating nature. I'm just quoting about the media tabloids and all. So guys, in the right hand you can see that there's a little bit kind of the um, Simian line kind of combination. It's not Simian, it's little bit heading close towards a Sydney line. But yes, the heart line and the headline is getting aligned over here. So guys, that is where the clue for you guys was, that because when we will definitely have our separate discussion someday on the Simian line, Sydney line as well. But that definitely tells about someone who has got a very perfectionist, single-minded, or a very obsessed kind of nature. This person wants things to be done in a prescribed way. If this person wants certain thing in a very with specific guidelines and direction, that person will not compromise over there, or will not be happy if you will, like, kind of, bend the corners or something. So you can see that if we talk about the major difference, in the right hand that sort of a combination is there. If you will look at the left hand of this person, over there as well, although there is not a Simian or a Sydney line, but over there the headline is still very straight. So we can look at it in this way, that this person was not born with this kind of attitude, approach, or personality, but life, with the passage of time, the person with the progressing age is becoming more and more single minded. You can look at it this way. And guys, I guess the last question which I put for you was, okay, numerology advice needed. A person who has got a Mulank birth date as 1, life path number, heart number, personality number, ultimate number, all 9. What do you think is the major concern of this person, and what advice you have for him? So guys, okay, for all those who are new to numerology, I will just explain all these parameters in a very layman language, simple language. So Mulank, the birth date, I mentioned that already in this video, that birth date generally tells about your personality characteristics. So from the birth date, if it is 1, we get to know about the single-mindedness, or originality, fame, recognition, visibility qualities of the sun. Now life path number, the sum total of the complete date of birth, your month of birth, your date of birth, and your year of birth. That is giving us 9. 9 is a number being ruled by the planet Mars. That makes a very philanthropic, very humanitarian, very intense, very friendly, very social, but dynamic, and little bit kind of, what do you call that, my way or highway kind of approach as well. These guys can only be convinced through logic, reason, and through friendliness. If you will be a straight shooter, or you will try to come in their way and make use of the force or aggression, you might not be able to get work done. So life path number is 9. Then comes the heart number. So heart number, I'm sure a lot many people will be knowing this thing, that from the name in itself, the sum total of the vowels is called as the heart number, which tells about the craving, what you deeply crave for. The personality number just tells about, it is the sum total of the consonants on your name. So that is also 9. And the ultimate number, all of that number is 9. So what does it tell about? So now let's come to the question. So the question which I asked about is that what do you think is the major concern of this person, and what advice do you have for him? So definitely guys, the major concern, looking at the numbers, because again, it is all about being single repetition of a pattern in the numbers, in the details. So we are seeing the repetition of the pattern in a way that there are like too many 9s. So this could be making this person very impulsive. This could be making this person very aggressive. This could be making this person that, this could be a case that this person is very quick, easy to begin things, but might not be able to finish things on the time. So he's a very good starter, but he's not a very good finisher. So this is what looks like to be the concern of this guy, this person, based on the details which I gave it to you. So again guys, it all comes down to seeing the intensity. Now you can see that there are too many 9s, and adding it with a number 1, which is also being ruled by another heated planet, Sun. So Sun and Mars in excess. Mars in excess is just telling about that yes, this person might have impulse, aggression kind of issues. Now, what advice you have for him? So definitely guys, if you follow my work on numerology, or you follow numerology in any ways, 9 is also the number of forgiveness. It is also the number of humanitarianism. It is also the number of philanthropy. So the advice for this guy is, the more you will kind of learn to let go, learn to forgive, and associate with philanthropic humanitarian work, the more you will do things unconditionally for the world, for people around you, the better your numbers or life will work for you. So yes guys, this is something which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. I will keep on now I'll be following the same pattern. Again, I will be soon sharing 3 questions with you. Then there will be 3 questions, and then I will make a video and explain all those 6 posts in one standalone video as my explanation. Again, you are not wrong. You gave your inputs. I appreciate for your participation. It's just like that. What I have had in my mind while designing the questionnaire, I'm just giving you that. So yes guys, for further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Instagram account. Dhanyavad.